Are you dealing with peer pressure from friends and family when you're trying to do right by yourself, when you're trying to eat right and exercise regularly, and they want no part of that? How do you deal with that? How do you deal from judgment from people when you're actually trying to do something positive and you're actually trying to lose weight? We're going to go over all that and more on today's show. I'm Pete Weintraub. I'm a permanent weight loss specialist, and you're watching or listening to the Millennial Weight Loss Podcast. Alright, so this is a very common thing that happens to a lot of my clients and a lot of people I've met with over the years who are trying to lose weight. So if you're watching or listening to this, and there's a good chance that you're trying to lose weight. Yesterday I pointed out, this show is for folks who are trying to lose 25 or more pounds, and you're really looking to make a healthy, sustainable change. And for whatever the reason, a lot of people feel very jealous and very threatened when you try to do right by yourself. So I'm going to go over a couple of very common examples that we as millennials deal with, and a couple that I personally dealt with. So if you're not familiar with my backstory, real quick, I've lost 100 pounds from my heaviest to where I am now, and I struggled with childhood obesity. Fortunately, I grew into my body in middle school and high school, and I started playing sports in middle school. So between the activity and the growth spurt, grew into my body, got into pretty good shape. But in college, while I did avoid the very common freshman 15, I gained a sophomore 70. I gained 70 pounds the first 3 months of my sophomore year of college. So if you went to school here in the States, obviously you start late August, early September, then usually your first real long extended break for 4 or 5 days at the very least is during Thanksgiving. So I remember I went back home for Thanksgiving during my sophomore year. My friends and family were like, "What the fuck happened to you? You were in shape 3 months ago. Now look at you. You've ballooned. What's going on?" I stayed very active, just as active, if not more active in college than I was in high school. But obviously, eventually, as I'm sure many of you realized, your metabolism leaves. Usually it happens in your mid to late 20s. For me, it happened when I was 19, 20 years old. I gained all that weight. I was getting crap from friends and family at home. And then I went back to school, and it seemed like my friends and the people I associated myself with also noticed. And they started calling me fat. I mean, it wasn't all the time. Usually it was when we'd go out and we'd party and we'd drink, and they'd have a few drinks in them. And obviously, as I'm sure many of you know, you have a drink or two, it lowers your inhibitions. You're more likely to say something that maybe you wouldn't in a sober social setting. So my friends would call me a fat ass, like if they were hustling to get to a party or to get to a bar before, sometimes the bars there, they get really filled to the point that there's a line out the door and you're waiting in the freezing cold. And it was around that time, November is when winter starts in upstate New York, and it gets really cold and it's snowing all the time and it's miserable. And I would have trouble keeping up because I put on a lot of weight, and it's a lot harder to move a 285-pound body than it is to move a current 185-pound body. And I was 215 heading into that academic year, so I was 30 pounds heavier than I am now, but I was still in pretty good shape. I was pretty muscular, as you can see from the picture and all that. So anyway, so I started getting shit from my friends. And not to toot my own horn, but I used to do pretty well with the ladies too. So in high school, when I started dating, like when I was like 15, 16 years old, through my freshman year, I had no problem attracting girls. In fact, I had a love triangle going on between my high school girlfriend and a girl I met in college my freshman year of college. And that was obviously not a good situation, not one of my finer moments. I was used to walking, when I was single, my sophomore year, I was used to walking into a party, at least before I put on all the weight, and the situation would present itself to me. I'm a tall guy. I'm not a bad-looking guy. I was in pretty good shape, so not too bad. But I found that when I got back to school and going forward, I had a lot of issue. And that really came to fruition during my second semester of my sophomore year, where I met this girl. We shared a lot of different interests, like the same music, very similar attitudes towards just about everything. And I liked her. I heard she liked me, but she liked me more as a person. I guess the message got lost in translation through the grapevine. And I remember one time I went back to her apartment, and I was expecting, and didn't transpire, and she just kind of like blew me off the rest of the night. Definitely kind of woke me up like shit, you know. So I started off conventional means: eat less, exercise more, and through that I lost 40 pounds inside of 4 months, so an average of 10 pounds lost a month, which is pretty good. Unfortunately, then started a 3-year plateau where no matter what I did in terms of restricting my caloric and portion intake and upping my exercise, which was tough to do. Again, like I said, I was very active at the time. I worked out 5 days a week. I pushed to 6 or 7. I added like a cardio session because I was like listening to bodybuilding.com and shit. I wasn't even certified at the time. That's what actually led me to get my first personal training certification at the age of 19. I didn't know anything about anything, so I was relying on bodybuilding.com, which was first starting to get popular at that time. And I was doing these like chest and back day and arm workouts, and we'll get into why that's all bullshit and why you should, if you don't like that stuff, why that's not the route to go for you fitness-wise on another episode at a later date. And even as I continue to up my exercise and reduce the amount that I ate, I didn't really get anywhere. And that was a struggle because when you don't eat enough and you're upping your activity, you need to eat enough to fuel that activity. It was getting harder to work out and push myself to that level when I wasn't fueling myself properly or adequately. So it was 3 years of a lot of frustration. And I looked at different types of diets, kind of looking at quality, but you know, there was always a component of calorie counting, of quantity. And I was sick of that. So at around the 3-year mark, my buddy Sam turned me on to CrossFit. And I am actually CrossFit certified, but CrossFit has a couple of different nutritional modalities that really work out well. And those are paleo, which is the caveman diet, which I'm sure many of you have heard of, and the zone diet. Now the zone diet, instead of counting calories or macros, it does something in blocks. Pain in the ass. I was done counting calories and using MyFitnessPal and doing all that, so I went the paleo route. And I cut out grains, cut out dairy. I did what paleo was: eat meats, vegetables, nuts and seeds, some fruit, little starch, no sugar. And that worked really well. I started to lose weight again. And it opened up my mind to, okay, maybe it's not the quantity or the amount of food that I ate, but instead the quality. And I was finding that even calorically, which again, I don't tell my clients to look at, I don't tell anyone to care about calories, but I was seeing MyFitnessPal just logging everything, you know, holding myself accountable essentially. I found that by doing that, I was eating fewer calories. Like I almost cut my calorie intake in half, but I was full all the time, had much better energy. A lot of the joint pain and inflammation that I had from eating the processed, refined grains and sugars went away, and I was not only feeling better, but I was looking better, and I was losing weight. And the big and tall clothing I had to get in college when I gained all that weight, I was slowly starting to not be able to wear because it was so baggy and so big that it didn't work out. So eventually I found out about the ketogenic diet. I found out that I had a food allergy to whey and casein proteins found in dairy. And not only did I lose the 70 pounds that I gained in college, but then another 30 on top of it. So that was how I lost 100 pounds. Now, when I made the switch from caring less about the quantity of food I ate and more so about the quality, that's when situations began to arise where people started to question, you're not going to eat this with me? You're not going to have a drink with me? Like, who do you think you are type of shit? So there were two common situations. Number one, social setting. We go out to a bar/restaurant, you know, like a Fridays or an Applebee's or something like that, or maybe just, you know, a nice bar in your area. Friends and the people you go with, your coworkers, whoever, they're used to you eating like the mozzarella sticks and all the other shitty appetizers, the pot stickers and things like that with them. And all of a sudden, because you're watching the quality of the food that you're eating, you tell them, maybe in advance, maybe when you get there, like, all right, everyone cool with ordering some pot stickers and some mozzarella sticks? Like, actually, I'm not going to have any of that. If we're going to get food, if we're going to be here a while, I'm probably going to get a salad, or I'm going to get, you know, something, you know, a healthier dish on the menu. In fact, if you need help with that, check out the link in the description below. Download my food guide and healthy recipe book. Goes over the 3 phases of nutrition. I teach my permanent weight loss clients, and You'll also get my healthy recipe book, 72 recipes spanning breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, appetizers, and desserts. Also, if you're not a big cook, I'm not either, I recommend Factor 75. It's a meal delivery service, all good, whole ingredients. You love it. I actually just got my delivery in this morning. I've already had 2 of my 6 meals that I get from them for the week, so I gotta kind of ration shit out a little bit more. But check them out. Referral codes in there as well. You get $20 off your first order. Very affordable. It's comparable to takeout, so check all that out. But anyway, asshole of the group is going to say to you, but you've eaten this with us before. What's the difference? Obviously, reply something to the effect of, well, I'm trying to lose weight, and I'm watching the quality of the foods I'm eating, and eating mozzarella sticks and pot stickers is not really conducive to that. So I'm not going to get that. You guys enjoy, though. Don't worry about me. You guys enjoy. And they're going to say, well, who do you think you are? You think you're better than us? And here's how you handle that. You're going to tell your friend, your coworker, whoever this is, do you respect me? Just ask them straight out. They're probably going to be surprised. Yeah, of course I do. I just want you to enjoy your time with us. I just want you to enjoy. Okay, that's cool. So I'm trying to lose weight right now. I know that eating this stuff with you guys is not going to get me there. Now, you guys can do whatever you want. It's your life. Maybe they don't need to lose weight. And if they don't need to lose weight, you can compliment them, kind of like a compliment sandwich, right? Say, look, you look great. You can get away with eating this shit right now. It's not really going to do much to you. For me, I've had a lot of trouble losing weight. I'm trying something new. Part of that is eating higher quality stuff. I'm not going to do it, all right? So if you respect me, please respect my decision. Enjoy. I'm not telling you not to get it. I'm not telling the group not to get it. Just enjoy and respect my decision not to have it. Now, you're going to get one of 2 responses. They may back off. If they're a good friend, a good coworker, and they're feeling a little jealous or spiteful because you're doing something positive for yourself, maybe they need to do the same. Like if they're heavy, if they're not heavy, maybe, again, they know they need to do something good for themselves, even if it's just working out more. They should clean up their eating a bit. It's good for their health, but they don't want to do it because they don't care enough. And they say that you care enough that not only are you're exercising, which is what everyone does first off, which is stupid, they're not doing it, and you're doing it. So in some way, you're threatening them because you're outperforming them, you're outdoing them. They don't like that. So they're going to act jealous, and they're going to try to get you to break, and that gives them some satisfaction because, hey, if I can't deal with my shit, and I'm making them, who made a conscious decision to deal with their shit, not deal with their shit and give in, then we're on the same level again. They're not going to rise above me. It's almost like some type of dominance hierarchy. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Ask them the respect question, which brings me to case number 2. You're at a family gathering, whether it's your immediate family, like your parents or siblings, if you have any siblings, or maybe it's even a larger gathering. It's your immediate and extended families at something. But let's say you're going to your Memorial Day barbecue this weekend on Sunday, since this is the last show of the week. They have like a platter out usually beforehand, right? They got potato salad, pasta salad, potato chips, cheese doodles, pretzels, a bunch of, shit and tapas that are disgusting, that you're not going to eat. Pete, have some chips, have some cheese doodles, the burgers and everything will be out in a minute. And yeah, when the burgers and stuff is out, you're going to have that without the bun, right? Maybe they have like a carrot and celery with some dip. Maybe you're going to have that instead of the chips. Just light on the dip unless they have a healthy dip, or you can bring your own healthy dip. I'm good. I'm going to wait for the grill. I'm trying this new thing again, just like with your friends. I'm trying this new thing. Instead of calorie counting and portion control, counting points or macros or whatever, I'm watching the quality of what I eat. None of that stuff's really going to help me right now. I'm just going to wait for the food to come off the grill, and I'm going to help myself. I appreciate it, though. Oh, who do you think you are? You think you're better than us? Again, if this relative or these relatives, usually it's just going to be one main instigator. Maybe a couple will join in because, it's tribal. But the main instigator, maybe if they're overweight, again, they're feeling jealous because you both need to lose weight, except you're doing something about it. You're being proactive. You presented to them, hey, the shit that you usually see me eat at these events, I'm not eating right now. I'm waiting for the good food to come out. Or maybe you brought your own food. Who knows, right? So they're feeling threatened. They're feeling jealous because they know they need to do the same thing. And instead of asking you, being curious, oh, what are you doing? Tell me a little bit more about that. No, they want you to sink back down to their level. And yes, again, it is a dominance hierarchy. They want everyone on a level playing field, whether they're all miserable and they hate their lives and their jobs and their relationships and everything, Or in this case, they're overweight. They want you to be overweight right there with them. They want you to eat and drink the same crap that they are. And if you're saying no to it because it's not conducive to your goals, because it's not good enough for you, and it isn't good enough for you, then they're going to say, oh, so it's not good enough for you. And you can say, no, it's not. It's not good enough for you either. It's not good enough for anyone here. I understand why you have it. It's cheap. It's affordable. It's easy to snack on. But it's not conducive to my goals. It's not conducive to my health. It's not conducive to me losing weight, which is what I'm looking to do right now. So I'm not eating it. End of story. That's it. And they continue to push you. Oh, look at you, Mr. Big Shot, thinking you're better than us. Say, do you respect me? And same thing. Yeah, of course I respect you. I just want you to have a good time. Well, you're not respecting me because you continue to challenge what my decision is. You may not agree with it. You may not like it for whatever the reason. But this is what I'm going to do. Do you have a problem with that? And if they say yes, then honestly, fuck them. Same with your friends or coworkers at the social setting. If they're going to get that offended by you bettering yourself and doing good by yourself, then fuck them. You don't need them in your life. There are plenty of people in my life, friends, coworkers, teammates that I've played with on teams over the years, even family members that I do not talk to for whatever the reason, because they're negative. I don't like their vibe. I don't like what they stand for. And honestly, my life is better without them. It doesn't matter if they're blood. It doesn't matter what trials and tribulations we went through. I don't need that shit in my life. It stresses me out. It makes me anxious. Probably led to me losing my hair because I put up with it so much earlier in my life. I don't need it, and neither do you. So take a stand for yourself. Don't give in to the pressure next time someone pressures you about not having a crappy appetizer or tapas or not having a drink. Fuck that. You're doing right by yourself. If they respect you, they'll back off. If they don't respect you, they'll continue to give you shit, in which case, next time you're invited to a situation that they're in as well, don't go. Or just avoid them. Or don't deal with them. And literally, that's what I do. If I'm ever again in a position or around people that I used to be friendly with or family members I'm not really fond of, in all honesty, I actually keep my distance. I don't really talk to them. I'll say, hey, how you doing? Cool. And I'll just turn around and I'll go and do my own thing. Because I don't need to deal with their shit. I really don't. And neither do you. You don't. Life is too short to deal with people judging you over doing right by yourself. So I hope you found this helpful. So today, guys, like I said on yesterday's episode, we're going to be doing the mailbag. So two ways to get involved in the mailbag. Either join the Facebook group, very simple, on your search bar on Facebook when you log in on your phone, or your computer, your tablet. Just type in Millennial Weight Loss Podcast. My beautiful mug's going to pop up. Ask to join the group. I'll let you in. That's simple. Or you can email me at pete@weightlossbypete.com. Again, that's pete@weightlossbypete.com with your question for the mailbag. So today we got our first mailbag question. We're growing slowly but surely by BJ. And BJ asked me, how can I increase my NEAT, it's a large acronym, during the day when I was a desk jockey, when I have, I guess he mistyped, a desk jockey job and an online business, aka lots and lots of sitting. So for those of you who don't know what NEAT is, NEAT stands for Non-Exercise Activity Thermogenesis. And it's defined by PubMed, the energy expended for everything we do that is not sleeping, eating, or sports like exercise. It ranges from the energy expended walking to work, typing, performing yard work, undertaking agricultural tasks, and fidgeting. So essentially what he wants to do is he wants to move more, and not necessarily through working out and stuff. Now, I actually personally know BJ. I know that he works out 4 or 5 days a week on his own, but he's talking about during the day, just instead of just sitting at his desk all day, whether he's at his day job or he's running his business on the side, what to do. And I'm sure many of you can sympathize if you're watching this. Some of this stuff is probably stuff that you guys haven't heard, but it's good to hear from someone who's been through it. First off, you want to walk around, all right? So if you're at your desk and you're at your desk 8 to 12 hours a day when you're at work, take the last 10 minutes of every day, so like 9 a.m. to 9:50 a.m., and stay by your desk, answer emails, whatever the fuck it is that you do. The last 10 minutes, get up, walk around the office, walk around your home if you work from home like I do, whatever the case may be. Get up and walk around. Sometimes my break is I'll take my dog out in the yard out here, and that's what I do. So get up, walk around. If that's not really conducive, BJ, there are things called a standing desk. In fact, right above where this is being filmed on my MacBook is a standing desk, where basically it's a platform, and it depends. If you want a cheaper option, Amazon has a cheaper option. It's literally kind of like folds out. You can adjust the legs and everything. You literally just place it on top of your actual sitting desk. It stands up on top. You put your laptop, papers, whatever you need on top of there, and you stand while you work. I actually personally do that. It's really helped me. At first, if you're not used to standing for as long, you're going to feel some pain in like your shoulders, your neck, your upper back, like your traps, like right back here. But in a couple of weeks later, you're not going to have those issues. You're going to find that you're feeling better. You're not as stiff and tight as you normally are. And that's because circulation is getting to places that it wasn't normally getting because you were sitting all the time. Sitting is bad for you. It really destroys your circulation to your body. You can develop blood clots if you sit long enough. That's why they say if you're on a long plane ride that's more than like 2 or 3 hours, you should get up and walk around every 90 minutes or 2 hours or so for a few minutes, just to get the blood reflowing through your body, because we're not meant as human beings. So that's number one, BJ. If you work at an office and you commute, then obviously walk as much as you can. So maybe you take a subway or a train and it's very close to your office, like it's a block or two. Maybe get off at the stop before it, unless it's several miles away. If it's like a mile or less further out, maybe get off at the previous stop before you get off at yours and walk from there. If you drive your car to work, instead of getting the closest spot to the office entrance, maybe park at the furthest spot from the office entrance. And believe me, just that little extra bit every single day adds up. Take the stairs if you're in an office building, and that's it. Sometimes even for myself, I have a staircase that leads up to the bedroom in my home. I'll literally walk up and down the stairs a few times, or I'll jog up and down the stairs a few times just to get my blood flowing if I've been sitting for a prolonged period of time. I'll get up and I'll do stuff, whether it's cleaning, and that's another thing you can do too. If you have some downtime in your office, at work, or at home, clean a little bit. And I know no one likes cleaning. Not everyone is OCD. Most people aren't OCD about cleaning. And obviously you can see there's clothing you need to put away back here. That's now taking up a recliner, and also there and clean, put some stuff away, move around. There's also Tabata intervals. Tabata intervals, basically 4 minutes of exercise, 8 intervals of 20 seconds of exercise and 10 seconds of rest. So Tabata, you can do 8 sets of the same exercise, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. You can do 4 sets each, either alternating, or 4 in a row of one exercise, 4 in a row of another, and so on. You could do or you could do 8 different exercises. So 1 for 20 seconds. You could do like squats for 20 seconds. Take a 10-second break. Do some jumping jacks for 20 seconds. Take a 10-second break, and so on. Create an 8 exercise circuit, and you can do that at the end of every hour. So the last 10 minutes, like 4 minutes, and do your Tabata interval. You can go through a little stretching routine. So get up, whatever feels stiff, stretch it out. There's just so many things you can do. Or whatever you can do on your feet more is probably good. So think about creative ways you can do that in your office space or at home, depending on where you work. Go about it that way. So guys, thanks so much for tuning in. So every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we're coming at you with the Millennial Weight Loss Podcast. And we have a great series right now about how you can effectively eat at a chain restaurant and not gain weight. And we're going to get into some more of this emotional shit, some stuff that I've dealt with personally. We're going to go over stuff like that because it's very common. It's not stuff that people talk about. I'm not one of those Insta fitness gurus or muscle and fitness people or whatever. Like, oh, look at me. I'm a fucking model. Like, I'm going to wear a shirt all the time. I don't need to, but I'm going to anyway because I respect you, and I don't feel the need to flaunt my pecs or my abs or my shoulders or whatever. That's stupid. I'm really not into how a lot of people treat this space, and I want to give you a real, open, and honest answer to a lot of the questions that we as millennials deal with on a regular basis. So I hope you'll tune in every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. You can do so on Facebook, here on YouTube. Just subscribe. You'll be notified every time I upload a new episode every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Or if you can listen on your way in and out of work on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher. Thanks so much for tuning in this week, guys. Again, this is Pete Weintraub, Permanent Weight Loss Specialist. I'm signing off for the week, coming back at you on Monday. Have a great Memorial Day weekend, everybody. And Memorial Day. I'll talk to you on Memorial Day. Have a good one.
She's a little bit vulgar.